Now, one of the president's first calls after the summit was to our next guest and some of his colleagues on Capitol Hill. Republican Senator John Barrasso from Wyoming sits on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and you chatted with the president as he was coming off this summit. How did he sound to you?
Well, optimistic, hopeful, but my hat's off. Congratulations to the president. This was a very historic and important first step in these ongoing discussions to eliminate nuclear weapons from North Korea. But the president felt that he had made progress. He's still very clear-eyed about this. We're going to have to see what happens. Mike Pompeo, as well as John Bolton, will be meeting with the North Koreans next week to take the next step. We need to make sure we have something that's verifiable, enforceable, and actually accomplishes what we need for America's security and safety at home, which is North Korea with no nuclear weapons.
So, of course, you know that's what critics, as Howie just pointed out, what they have said about this is that there isn't that framework. There isn't the verifiable, the inspections, all the things that are critical to this. One of your Democratic colleagues, in fact, the top Democrat in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, had this to say.
The bottom line is this. What the United States has gained is vague and unverifiable. What North Korea has gained is tangible and lasting. We hope this doesn't continue.
So a lot of work now for Secretary Pompeo and other American staffers, State Department and other locations, to do in getting something done. How do they go about that in a way that will satisfy the president's critics, or can they?
Well, some critics of the president you're never going to satisfy. When the president set up the summit in the first place, they criticized him. And then when he canceled the summit, they criticized him. And then when he went ahead with the summit again, they criticized him still. What we talked about with the president was just when he came into office, Barack Obama said we were on the verge of war with North Korea. And I think at that time we were, where we saw North Korea's sophistication had increased dramatically. Now look at where we are today. I think as a result of this summit, the world is a little more safe and a little more secure and a little more stable than it was beforehand. But we're not all the way there. We have a lot of work to do. And, I want something that actually can be a treaty where the Iran agreement fell apart. Well, it was a terrible agreement in the first place, but it was never brought to the elected members of the United States Senate representing the people of the country under Article 2, Section 2, Paragraph 2 of the Constitution. Instead, they took it to the United Nations. I want something with North Korea that we can take to the United States Senate and get confirmed as a treaty. That's how you have lasting relationships between countries.
Yeah, and it's the president in his interview with Sean Hannity tonight saying that's absolutely what he wants to do, and that is his goal, to get something to you all that you can vote on, that will be binding, that has the backing, hopefully bipartisan backing, of members of the Senate. We talked a little bit, how he did, about the media bias there, and we referenced Senator Rubio earlier. This is another one of his tweets. He said, "I too have concerns about how all this with North Korea will turn out, but I don't recall the experts criticizing Obama when he met with a brutal dictator in Cuba who also oversaw a police state and also killed and jailed his opponents." Hashtag double standard.
Well, Marco and I work closely together in the Foreign Relations Committee. He is very thoughtful on all these issues, spends significant amounts of time on it. But I think the president gave up nothing. I mean, he pushed the pause button on some of these military exercises, but we only do 2 a year. We've done the one in the spring. This one isn't for months to come. So it would be very easy to put those back on again. So I think the president has given up nothing. We've gotten a lot. What we've shown is that maximum pressure works. Tough talk by the president works. I think we're in much better shape today than we were the day that President Trump took office with regard to all of these issues of international security, and focus specifically because we know that nuclear weapons in the hands of the people of North Korea, specifically Kim Jong-un, makes the world less safe and less stable and less secure. We need to eliminate those.
Well, just about everyone agrees this is only a first step, and there's much more to come. So we will watch and wait for that. Senator, thank you for coming in tonight.
Thanks, Shannon. Great to be with you.